Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 5th of 2021, and ever since the very end of The Mandalorian Season 2's finale, a lot of fans have been very curious and skeptical about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, and others out there that are working heavily on a lot of other TV shows as well. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Also, make sure to check me out at Mike01 on Twitter if you would like to. Now, moving ahead, we do know that George, John, and Dave are all working together as a team to really deliver as much Star Wars material as possible, as well as bringing back a large chunk of Legends. Now, a lot of fans love Legends because back in the 1990s and the early 2000s, and actually it went into the early 2010s, with 2013's Crucible being the last Star Wars Legends book, showing on the cover an old Luke, Leia, and Han. Now, of course, this is their game, this is their game plan, to really kind of just revive Star Wars Legends and change it up a little bit, but keep it pretty much near similar to how it was, and kind of incorporate it into the Mandoverse and other Star Wars TV shows out there that are about to be released in the next couple of years. So, with that being said, of course, what's really intriguing all has to do with Gina Carano. Now, we do know that back in February of this year is when Gina Carano was fired by Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy. We went over how Kathleen Kennedy made that very poor apology, which, I gotta tell you guys the truth, I don't believe that that was a real apology, to say the least. I think that that was just her trying to save her own image, to kind of mask herself as this very humble person that's very respectful when she's really not. Obviously, we have seen the truth of what happened to Gina Carano and how it was indeed initiated by Kathleen Kennedy and how it was so poorly handled. So with that being said, what's really interesting about all of this is that since the end of the sequels, both Disney and Lucasfilm have been working hard with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni in order to create an expensive set of Star Wars stories moving ahead. Now, it's described that currently Jon and Dave are working hard on bringing in new characters as well as Star Wars Legends characters into the Star Wars franchise. It's described, however, that in a recent interview with actress Gina Carano, Carano was being questioned about her future with the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro, as well as her return to Star Wars. When questioned about her possible return to Star Wars and if she would come back, Gina Carano went on to state that, I am just not quite sure about that. That is a really difficult question to answer right now, and I don't want to get anybody's hopes up for anything. But I really went through a lot, and I am really trying to recover still from what happened. It's been tough and has taken a toll on my life. I have still been in the talks with both Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, and that though I cannot say what we have been talking about, I think you probably get the idea. When further questioned about her coming back to Star Wars, Carano went on to explain that it was a very, very fun work environment, but there were many times where I felt I was being hunted down by those that disliked me. It was a love-hate relationship for me over at Lucasfilm, and sometimes that can be very toxic to the overall workplace and to the actual person. So perhaps if that can be fixed and leveled out, things would look more up for me as a person. But I am still talking to Jon and Dave, and that they are great and talented creators who always cared for me and guided me, and I truly respect that. Gina was also questioned if she will be revealing more about her side to the story of her firing, to which she replied that yes, I do have plans to clarify more things about everything, and that fans will be very much able to enjoy that, I believe. So, the other thing on top of this is that Kathleen Kennedy is actively still working on the Acolyte TV series. We know this. She's actually causing a lot of trouble for the pre-production phase. We're talking about the scripts and stuff around those lines. She caused a lot of problems, and even the Disney higher-ups, we're talking about the board members, of course, and even Bob Chapek, the CEO, has really looked at Kathleen Kennedy negatively now because of the drama that she's stirring up with the Acolyte TV series. Now, when it all comes down to Gina, this really does kind of allude to what we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. Just on May 27th, Jon and Dave had that meeting with the board members over at Disney to discuss Gina Carano's return. In fact, it's looking up. It's looking very positive. There is a plan to get her back on board, and that's going to be finalized by the end of this summer. Around early September, around that time frame, there's going to be some form of an announcement of Disney take on everything. And it's all up to Gina Carano to really make that decision by the end of the summer as well, to really get the ball rolling again with the character of Cara Dune. Now, from listening to Gina's words, what it sounds like is that this all translated to, I'm talking with John and Dave. I may be a little bit interested, but I don't want to say and get anybody's hopes up. That's what it sounds like to me, at least. You know, it sounds like that she was being very careful with her words, that she was really trying to not cater to anybody. We do know that there are fans out there that are praying that Gina Carano says, no, 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 I am not coming back at all. I would never want to do that. But then there's other fans that are begging for her to come back, so she doesn't want to cater to either side, and I respect that. You know, she's kind of pulling it in neutral and really trying to kind of just put herself in the middle right now, not saying a word as she discusses things with John and Dave. Obviously, we know that they have been in the talks for a couple of weeks now, and things are starting to develop and starting to move ahead. The other thing is this that I think a lot of fans need to know that's very, very important, is that Gina Carano's Cara Dune, alright, there's going to be a lot done with the character in other Mandalorian episodes and other Star Wars TV shows, regardless if Gina Carano does not return. And a prime example of this is very unexpected, is that Jon Favreau is going to be throwing in deleted scenes of Carano in Season 3 from Season 2 that featured herself and Ahsoka Tano in a specific scene. So that really does tell us that Jon only wants Gina Carano to portray the character. That is it. And I respect that as well. The fact that Jon Favreau knows that Cara Dune, alright, basically Gina Carano is Cara Dune, it just shows you that Jon knows his character that he actually created. And that's exactly what he's standing by. That's exactly what he believes in. And that's exactly what he's trying to push for. And that really does show us that Jon Favreau just cares genuinely about the fandom. He's not just reacting to the fandom, he actually cares about the fandom. You know, he's not reacting to positive or negative feedback. He's just doing what he believes is best for the community. And that really does tell us a lot about Jon, and also Dave Filoni as well, I must add. So, like I've said, you know, I would like to hear what each and every one of you guys have to say about the Gina situation and everything that has been happening the past couple of weeks now, and how, you know, things are really starting to shape up for the overall franchise. Let me know what you think about all this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.